Welcome back to Flint Hills Briar. I'm Gareth. Out in the Flint Hills of Kansas. Up in the part of the Flint Hills, kind of towards the northern end of them, where the glaciers, it's kind of like the edge of where the glaciers are reached. And as a result, you can find glacial erratics, big old quartzite rocks that were dropped off by the glaciers as they melted. Found a few glacial rocks, boulders out here over the past few years. But anyway, it's December 21st, 2024, the Winter Solstice. First day of winter, the shortest daylight hour day of the year, and the sun just shortly before this dipped below the horizon, which is a hill to the west of me here, or I guess this time of year that would be what the west southwest, something like that. But as low in the sky as the sun is. But I came out to get my December camp out in. Yesterday and today, the weather I think is the coldest by quite a bit of like the whole 2 week span, like week before this and the week after this span. It's been fairly warm because of the whole La Nina thing or whatever. But when I decided to go camping, it of course was the colder weekend. Last night I got down to about 11, just a little under 12 degrees, 11 point something. And today it got up to, I think, just about 40. Yesterday it didn't even get to freezing. But just hanging out, enjoying some Merry Monk in my Richmond, Made in London Briar Bulldog. This Merry Monk I had in one of my, left it not too long in a pocket jar. It was a bit on the dry side. I smoked up the rest of the mountain camp that I had in another pocket jar, which was totally dried out and crunchy. Need to remember to empty those out, put them back in the mason jar it came out of as soon as I get home, or shortly thereafter, within the first few days, preferably. But I probably needed to get out. It's been kind of like the last half month. Like 2 weekends ago wasn't a good weekend because that was the whole Jones the Cat weekend, and last weekend was better. But I not very long ago, like not even an hour ago, maybe a half hour ago, something occurred out here which highlighted to me the fact that I'm probably really need to get out and relax and unwind, because yesterday at work, a coworker asked me about the possibility of doing something which was rather ridiculous. And I guess I'll just explain what it is, just so I don't have to try to explain it some other way. On Christmas Day, I have to work. I only really have to work 4 hours though. And then I'm on call for the rest of the day. And then another person comes in and works a 12-hour shift. And that person asked me if I would be willing to come in as like a callback thing, even though it's not a real callback. It's just come in and work for, I don't know, half hour, whatever. Only for the reason so that person could go down to the cafeteria and eat like a Christmas meal with their family. But like another coworker said, but being on call and working holidays is just part of our job. And that person and me, we both had Thanksgiving off, so we had that opportunity to have a holiday meal with our family. Um, and that it's one of those things. I would never ask somebody to do that. It's just like, how did she know that I didn't have like family coming over to my house or something during that time? Anyway, it was one of those things I just didn't really know what to say. And the only thing I did say, which was probably about what I said, I'm dealing with the fact that my holiday's messed up too. And the best thing I could say was, well, have you run that by our supervisor? Because I wouldn't even consider doing it if he didn't okay it, because I kind of feel like that's sort of a kind of a fraudulent callback in a sense, because they're going to have to pay somebody extra in order to basically cover a meal for somebody. So anyway, and apparently that person did not run it by our boss. Somebody else did, and he thought the idea was just ridiculous and stupid. So anyway, this person approached me and said, like, I don't want to piss you off by asking you this. And then she proceeds to ask me this, and that didn't sit well with me. I just thought it was a utterly ridiculous thing to ask somebody. Anyway. So that was yesterday. And then today, just like about a half hour ago, I was out getting the fire ready to start, get the little fire lay going, and a car drove by kind of slow, and then it kind of turned around and kept going. There was a little turnaround out here, and like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something later, it came back, and it slows down, it stops on the road. And I'm thinking, well, great, what's this about? This guy gets out and he walks in my camp, and I was just out back, just kind of out back in the trees a little bit, and he asked me, hey, would it be okay for us to camp behind you here? And I'm like, where? What? Somebody else, I mean, this is a fairly small little state lake area. There are several camp spots here, although in my opinion, I only really consider a few of them to be all that great of places to camp. But in a pinch, I would camp other places too. But anyway, there are multiple places to camp out here. Somebody did camp in one of them last night, which kind of surprised me. I'll give them my respect for coming out and camping on a Friday night when it got down to like 12 degrees. But anyway, they're gone. So as far as I know, I'm the only person out here right now. And this guy comes up and asks me if he can camp like in the woods behind me, like right next to where somebody's at, when everywhere else around here is open. And there is this old fallen apart, it was actually the caretaker of the lake here. That small limestone house there, and the remnants of it are back there. I guess his kids found it, and they wanted to previously they found it, and they wanted to set up some shelter there or something. I don't really know. I know kids are the way they are, but that doesn't seem like a very enjoyable, feasible, or comfortable place to stay, but whatever. That's not really the point. But this guy asked me this, and I basically just pretty much automatically responded by kind of acting like he was nuts. And I said, why would you even ask somebody that? I'm the only person out here. I noticed after the fact, and I said that more than once to him, I don't even know why you'd ask somebody that sort of thing. And I wasn't trying to be rude, but I was really caught off guard by just the bizarre nature of somebody coming out here to the one place where somebody is camped, and ask them if you could camp pretty much right behind them. I mean, it's a little ways back there, but I'm pretty sure there's a trail of sorts that goes back that way, and it goes through this, it starts in this campsite and goes back. Pretty sure he meant like, walk through my camp to get back there and everything. And I'm just like what? Like, I don't, why would you ask somebody that? Anyway, after the fact, after he left, I just kind of reflected like, wow, that kind of went from kind of 0 to 60 in my kind of response to it. And I realized that's like the second time in 2 days that somebody's asked me a request that I thought was just like, why would you even ask somebody that sort of thing? And I hope I did not come off as like too overly rude to them, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. I would never ask somebody that. I personally like camping in this spot, and I've come out here many times over the years, and there's somebody here already. Well, they got there before me. I go camp somewhere else. Back in October, I came out, and I was hoping to get this spot, although I knew that, maybe deer hunters or something might be out here. Well, not only were there, I don't know, maybe deer hunters, like this spot was occupied. Basically, every spot out here was occupied. That's like the first time I've ever seen it like that in the fall. Maybe in the springtime. I don't think I've even been out here in the springtime. I don't come out here very often in the springtime at all anyway, but I've never seen it that full out here. But I went camp somewhere else altogether, a whole different area. Just the nature of it, it's first come, first served, but I don't know. Having some dude roll up, shortly before the sun's starting to go down and ask if they can camp behind me, just when there's everywhere else out here open, just really, I was just shocked that somebody would ask that. But anyway, yeah, I think I probably need to kick back and unwind, and I think obviously I'm wound up about it because I'm sure you can see that in my retelling of that story. But 12 minutes in already. Yeah, I've just been yeah, I've been thinking about the whole Sutliff and Mac Barron thing, just like a lot of other folks, and don't really know what to think about that. I mean, there's the whole like, what's really going to happen aspect of it. What does kind of concern me is when somebody like Doug Owen says if you like blends like Capstan and Seattle Pipe Club and some other things that maybe you should kind of stock up. When somebody that is in the business and seems to know stuff says things like that, it kind of concerns me, because he's where I found out that Dan Tobacco closed up shop. Of course, I found that out like only maybe 4 or 5 months after I discovered I really liked Dan Tobacco's Da Vinci blend. So I ordered a few tins of that, like the night I found that out, and like another tin of Devil's Holiday. And now every time I check, it's always out of stock, and I have a feeling it's because they closed up shop. But at first I wasn't terribly worried about this Mac Barron and Sutliff thing. I mean, there's some Sutliff bulk blends that I enjoy, like Ready Rub Match and a Holiday Mixture. I quite enjoy those, but I would be sad if they go away. And there's some Seattle Pipe Club blends that I really like. But it wasn't until I started looking around. At first initially I knew that Doug Owen mentioned Capstan, and sure enough, it's made by Mac Barron, and they make a lot of other good kind of iconic blends. So I don't know. I would hope that the Scandinavian Tobacco Group would keep making those. You think they would? I would assume that they sell pretty well. Yeah, I could kind of see a lot of that Sutliff bulk stuff going away. The thing about the Seattle Pipe Club that causes me to not freak out too much about that is that from what I understand, I think McClellan's originally blended their blends for them. And I don't know if that switched over from McClellan to Sutliff I don't know if that switched over when McClellan's closed, or if it was before that, I don't know, but I'm I'm thinking they might be able to take their blend recipes, whatever formulations somewhere else. Maybe Cornell and Deal could do it. I don't know. So I have some hope that they might not disappear, but I don't know. I'm really trying not to spend money because of like vacations and stuff and things like that. But I got some capstan and got like a tin of Seattle Evening and Potlatch. Which are probably my two favorite Seattle Pipe Club blends. So I've tried to stock up a bit, but there's limits to what I can do. And if nothing else, years in the future I will have some very nice aged capstan. But, it doesn't really matter, I guess, in the end if even if all the Mac Baron and Sutliff stuff go away, which I don't think that's going to happen to that extent, but even if it does, there's other pipe tobaccos out there, and other people will probably pick up somewhat and come up with some new stuff, things like that. I mean, I'm sure things will go on. Just like the sun going away today, being such a short day, life will go on. The sun will come up tomorrow, and all that sort of thing. Christmas is only 4 days away. Here's somebody talking back that way, so hopefully those folks found a spot that they will enjoy camping in out here. I don't want to begrudge them that at all. I mean, they have my respect for coming out camping when it's not as cold tonight, but still, winter campers have my respect. I just would really rather you not camp right behind me when I'm the only one out here. But anyway, so yeah, I might do a little special reading tonight, which will be a different video. Because last I tried to edit videos with my old editing software, I couldn't edit them. It wouldn't recognize the file format or something that they're in, even though it's like MP4 or something, which I think is pretty standard. But anyway, might do a little campfire reading tonight. Printed up one poem. Actually, I forgot to print another one that I would like to read, in which I have pieces of memorized, but I don't have the whole thing memorized. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. I think that's a appropriate Winter Solstice poem. Maybe I'll read that by a fire some other night, even if it's not the Winter Solstice. It's a winter poem. But anyway, 18 and a half minutes almost. I'm going to draw this to a close. Join me pipe. Get the fire going here pretty soon because the sun's, we're losing light. Can have me a roasted pumpkin for supper. Did that back on October of a year ago. Timber Drifter's recipe, basically. Got the idea from him. So, anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Gareth with Mountain Coffee Outdoors. Yeah, I'm Gareth with Flint Hills Briar. I'll see you next time.